have sucked for them to be stuck with. Oh,
Hello, everybody. I hope all of you guys have a good weekend and relax a little bit, okay? Because we all know we had a tough week this week, okay, ups and downs, this and that. But this morning, let me tell you guys something. It's great news because Pfizer joined together with Biotech. That Biotech actually is a company from Germany, okay? That together they announced they are vaccine have effective rate at a 90%. This is awesome. When you talk about 90%, Leslie, you know what that means? You know, in my opinion, personal opinion, it's a better than
the flu.
the flu, the flu stuff. I don't know. You know, every year we last year was nothing happened. I had a flu 3 times. Okay, this year I told the Leslie, said when they come in, give me a shot. I hope this year it will work. God knows, right? But if somebody for a company that big, like Pfizer claimed, right?
Yeah,
It's a big deal.
it's a big
I don't
deal.
think the company that big will put their reputation on the table. Say,
Both companies are large organizations that I don't think they put their
okay,
name on the line.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Put on life for that.
Yeah.
That means they tested three
Yeah.
times. Finally, I still think when they say 90%, they take a most conservative approach, which is the least number they're able to release.
Absolutely.
Let's face it, this is good for us, all of us.
I think so.
Okay, I believe right now, as you see this morning, before the stock market open, it jumps at about a huge 1,500 points. Just 3 minutes ago, before I come here for the show, I checked the stock market again, still maintained at 1,100 level.
That's crazy.
So right now, it's crazy.
Good.
It's a crazy good. Right now at a 29,000 around 400 level. I think if you can hold up there above the 29 before 4 o'clock, I think will be awesome. So you can see, okay, we don't really care what happened out there, but we do care our health. We do care our working environment. When this virus stuff being taken care of, we just move on.
Yeah.
Go back to our normal life.
We got
okay? We'll be so happy. So we can come over to see you guys.
Absolutely.
We can get together. We can have our parties all over the places, right?
Right. We could get on planes and go places.
Right. Then we can
and not feel like patient zero.
Exactly. Remember, Leslie, we used to do the hours gathering for each city, right?
We did.
We
Those
can
were a lot
resume
of
that
fun.
kind of stuff. So we don't have to talk to you guys on the video. We just go out having fun together. You guys, let's get together, have
Show
a
you
couple of
products.
drinks.
Yeah.
Right?
Those were good times.
It's a good time.
Lots of
I tell
giveaways.
You know what I mean?
It's
So
good.
that being said, I think we need to get ready. I always say to people and Leslie and everybody here, I say, Leslie, when opportunity comes,
You gotta grab it.
got to grab it. But when you grab it, it's based on the person, the entity, how well they are prepared for.
Agreed.
I think the same is for you. Our job is to prepare from products point of view,
Yeah.
from the inventory point of view, from a service point of view, to make sure you able to grab as much as possible for the next couple of months.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, there are no ifs and buts, okay? This one really go back like that, because all of a sudden everybody relax.
back,
First of
yeah.
all, relax, right?
Mhm. Calm.
Okay, versus everybody thinking about I'm going to get or not. Okay, virus. Okay,
Virus
yeah.
is the virus.
Sorry, maybe still 10% people will get it, but you know what? The technology, the medicine they have, they're taking care of that. But 90%, well, relax. Okay, when we relax,
We
don't
start buying stuff again.
looking for opportunities. Also remember, we are in a very strange time. We're in the holiday season. Also, we're
Is it the holiday season?
Oh, yes, the
officially?
holiday
Okay.
season official, you know. Also, Leslie, remember, we are at the end of the year.
We're getting
Okay.
there.
Because of
This month and next month, and then we're done.
because of virus issue, people so worried about are they able to finish the year with
Yeah.
the budget they put together.
Absolutely.
Everybody is kind of pushing back to next year, this and that, you know what I mean? But
Sure.
now, all of a sudden, in such a short period of time, people come back and say, guess what? Everybody hurry up, okay? We still have money to spend.
I
Let's
hope
go
that
for it,
happens.
right?
I hope they're like, hey, TCP, we need you.
Right. So that being said, let's go back to the basics, okay? Remember, we always talk to your guys, seating.
Did we
Okay.
talk about the ceiling?
Yeah, we talk about seating a few times, but we never talk
I was trying to make a joke.
seating. Yeah, no, yeah, okay, we talk about seatings, yes.
It's okay. Let's keep going. But in that ceiling, you need light fixtures. And that's what we wanted to take it back to the basics in the great debate of tubes versus fixtures. Because there's a place in this world for both.
Yes, but however, we always approach from technology point of view.
Yeah.
We never approach from
Simplicity.
total, right, simply, we never approach from
Mhm.
different way, which is, we call the total budget approach.
That's
Right.
true.
Total budget approach involved with the two different things.
That
Okay,
goes back to simplicity.
right? One is the products. The other one is so-called the labor cost, how you put the products up.
Mhm.
Sometimes we only focus on the cost of the products.
Yeah.
We kind of ignore the other
The
side,
MSRP.
right? Remember, we ignore the other side. But for any company, any end users, when they do the estimate on their project, they really have to calculate this whole thing. Now, when they calculate this whole thing,
Mhm.
guess what? The dynamic change all of a
Could.
sudden,
It could.
right? The dynamic change. But before we get into that, let's just look at, okay, TCP has different technology, different products, this
Sure.
and that, right?
Mhm.
So let me ask you question number one. You can call a friend if you need it, okay?
I might call a friend.
Okay. The question is very simple. Tubes and fixtures.
Mhm.
In terms of performance,
Mhm.
in terms of lumen per watt, in terms of the durability,
Mhm.
in terms of quality of the lights,
Mhm.
are they same?
I do fixtures all day.
You do fix your day.
Mhm.
So if you do fix your day, you have a biased opinion.
I do.
Because when you do fix your day, okay, let's
I mean,
Basic,
let's look
okay.
at it. Lumen per watt, we can
Lumen
do the
per watt.
same.
say,
We
right?
can hit
Done?
the same lumen
Sure,
packages.
right?
Durability, I mean, looking at a glass T8 tube versus a DT series
But we
fixture.
guarantee the same way. We do 5 years and 5 years. Or obviously people suggest for 10 years, that's another story because that depends on a certain burning environment and this and that.
Right.
But in general, I won't say in general.
I mean, your basic like lamp versus fixture warranty is the same. I'd say on fixtures, it's a little
more than
simpler.
that. Sure.
Just
Sure.
because in lamps you've got other stuff going on as
Sure.
far as tombstones and
Oh,
sometimes
sure.
you've got a ballast. So I mean, I
Oh,
would
sure.
say fixtures wins as far as durability. Like, and how many times have we dropped our DT series panel and have it not break?
Sure. Agree.
So I'd say fixtures are slightly more durable.
Slightly, but in general, I would say
Yeah.
durable in general. Okay, but I always can argue on the other side is, hey, I can change the technology on the tube side. Okay, I just go back to switch another one, but your fixture stuck over there for next 5 to 7 years.
Sure.
Just for argument, but I would say
Okay.
in general.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're talking about in terms of performance is in general. Okay,
Mhm.
now you have to look at the other side now, which is the cost to put them up,
Yep.
right? Because that's the other part of the thing.
Yep.
So if you look at that portion, all of a sudden you look at those two a little bit different now.
Yeah. So I laid it out
Okay.
with some of my thoughts
Right.
here, and I just want to talk about that for a
Sure,
second.
go ahead.
Because like if I'm looking at what you're doing too, are you doing new construction or are you doing a retrofit application? Because if you're doing a retrofit application, I think that T8 is probably an easier choice than maybe a new fixture. If you're doing
Okay, so
a new construction, I'd say a fixture is probably a better choice.
Okay.
Or if you're taking your building down to the studs and putting it back up, a fixture might be a better choice.
Sure.
Because
Okay.
of the look.
Can we go a little bit slow? Otherwise, the show is over in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So to go a little bit slow. Okay. Since you believe the tube is a better
Yep.
choice for the
We're
retrofit.
battling. So you're team tube, I'm team fixture.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I go with that, first of all, let's look into that choice. Okay, that choice involved with the two things. Okay,
Okay.
that's why people start called type A and type B tubes right now. Okay.
Yep.
Now I'm not big fan for A plus B. Why? Because it costs
Feels
more
like
money.
a waste.
It's a waste. Okay.
I mean,
So-
it's great, but it also feels somewhat wasteful.
Sure. Okay. Then you getting down to type A or type B.
Sure.
Type A or type B, in my opinion, has no brainer. You should just switch to type B. The reason is very simple because you have no idea which ballast is in the ceiling.
Agreed.
You can have a ballast as old as 20 years old, and
Could be.
magnetic ballast still there. You have no idea.
You know what my favorite
Right.
or my least favorite thing
Sure.
is when somebody pops that type A lamp into the fixture
Yeah.
and then it works great, it's perfect, no problems, right?
Yeah.
And then 6 months later they call us and say your lamps failed.
Right.
And we said, well,
No. The lamp
okay,
didn't fail.
we know what
Actually-
ballast, what da 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 da. Let
Sure.
me finish my story.
I thought you're on the type B side. You're not jumping on my type A
I'm
side.
typing on your fixtures because I
Okay.
get the claims.
Go ahead.
And I'm like, well, like, how old's the fixture? How old's the ballast? How old is the tombstones? How old's everything? And they go, oh, well, those are original to the fixture. And I'm like, okay, well, what ballast are you using? Check it's a compatible TCP ballast. Well, send us, 2 samples of the lamps back. Send them back to our thing. We grab the ballast out of our stock because we keep a huge stock of ballast that we know work with our fixtures. Plug it in up in the QA lab, lights right up. Well, did you test your ballast to see if your ballast was working? No, your lamp failed, but you using a 20-year-old ballast. So
In other words, when we look into those things, we need to let people know. We need to let the end user side know is when you put a type A in it, just for the convenience only, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because nobody ever know, okay, most time how old the ballast is, how it's being put together originally. Nobody
How many
know that.
cycles it's had.
Nobody know that. So it's not just a 50-50 chance. It could be just this afternoon or tomorrow, and the ballast just burn out. That's it. But people have to tell your end user side, say, when that happens, you just have to do one more time. Number one, you have to change your type A to type B. Then somebody has to come in to retrofit the whole thing for you. That costs more than what you put a type A in it. So I only do this. In my opinion, I'm very clear. For everyday use, you have millions and millions of the fluorescent tubes out there.
There's probably billions.
Okay, billions. Each building maintenance guy should have few cases of the type A, because his job is nothing more, nothing less. Just replace what's being burned out.
Yep. Do the pop pop.
Pop pop. That's it.
My office isn't lighting up. Guy comes up. He's got his tubes. He pops it out. Pops a new one in. Yep.
Pop pop. Done.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Easy. Again.
Easy.
No wiring.
Pop pop. Number one. Number two. Okay. Number two. For as qualified, defined as a project, then all of us for the benefit of end users have to really think about so-called a total cost now. We need to tell the end user, basically, I just described, right? What if this afternoon, what if tomorrow, which your probability is very high, your balance burn out. So if defined as a project, I will strongly suggest using type B, because you need to have another 5 to 7 years, no hassle, the fixture burn continuously. Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay, so doing that, obviously, we always suggest the people to using the socket, change the socket, because your socket is pretty old too. Remember, when the Leslie tried to go through the checklist, remember that?
Yeah.
One of the checklists is the lamp holder.
These guys.
Especially when you switch to type B, that means you're running at the line voltage now.
Right
You
into
need-
these guys.
Right into those guys. You need
And
to
these
put
guys
up those
could
guys.
be 20 years old. Are they shunted?
Correct.
Are they unshunted? Are they good?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Well, you know when you go in and you look at them, but
Right.
if you know what you're doing.
Sure.
But if you don't know what you're doing, you're like, I'm just going to bypass this, and you're doing it and it's not okay, you know, it's going to cause the lamp holders to fail. And then if the lamp holders fail and your lamp fails, then there could be arcing and there could be smoke and there could be all kinds of things. Then
Correct.
you've got a phone call.
So we
with
strongly
someone saying,
suggest that.
your lamps are catching my building on fire.
Right.
Well, no, like, did you do
So
it
that's
right?
why we strongly suggest say, change it.
Change your lamp holder.
Obviously, we cannot force them to do it, but we
I
strongly
wish I could
suggest
force
it.
people to do
Okay.
this.
In the meantime, look at what the Leslie holding is. In order to make any future hassle-free, we put a fuse in
We
it.
put an
Because
extra
remember,
fuse in it.
now you deal
Again,
with the
extra
line voltage.
safety.
Now you're dealing with the line
I lost my
voltage
fuse.
now. Okay? You have to do that. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying strongly suggest
And that goes back to safety. You know, a lot
Right.
of people, like, there's concern about type B. I remember back when all of this first started,
Sure.
and people didn't do type B tubes because they were too dangerous. Do you
Exactly.
remember that?
Exactly.
But now there's extra measures in place to make them better.
Exactly. So
Things like fuses in the lamp holders, extra fuses and shutoffs within the tubes themselves. There's been a lot of work done to improve type B tubes overall.
correct.
But that
So-
also, I mean, speaking to that too, I just want to point out, that's why you want to go to a reputable lamp manufacturer that's going to stand by you if there is an issue. Because like us at TCP, we've gone through and added additional resistors and stuff within our tube designs to ensure that if it does arc or if there is an early end of life, it shuts off immediately and there isn't power just running through that lamp the whole time, because the power running through that lamp the whole time is what causes it, when it fails, to smoke and melt and light on fire.
Exactly. You see what I mean? So that's
Sorry, I had
actually
to soapbox.
yeah. So that means if we go this route as a retrofit
Mhm.
version, again, please tell people if you just a maintenance guy, just using type A. Otherwise, the moment it's defined as a project, please convince them to using type
Type
B.
B. Well, I mean, if you're doing a whole floor of an office building, right?
Right.
Because you want to take advantage of extra energy savings.
So that's how we talk about define is the project, not just one.
Then that's where you're going through,
Right.
and that's where you're going to make that choice of, do I do a fixture versus a tube?
Correct.
And a tube is a really affordable option
So
to do this.
So let's look at something very easy
Okay.
here. Okay, now let's do some math here.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Do you have the big calculator?
No, I don't
Oh.
need a calculator.
Okay.
So if you look at a B here, so let's simply look at because a B eventually to compete against that.
The fixture.
A,
Yeah.
we already kind of put A to a different category.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's look at a B. I would say B, the manufacturing suggested price will be 4 and a 7. I would say something around to the end user about $7.
Okay. We'll just $7. Okay. A
Okay.
tube.
Right.
Okay.
$7 a tube. And the meantime, okay, at the meantime, you have to change the you need a cost of the socket. Okay. Socket, I would say usually runs about $1.50 per tube.
Okay.
$1.50 per
Is that
tube.
per tube or is that per stock? Because that's
No, I divide it into two now.
Okay.
I'd say
So
$1
that this guy
to
would
the
be.
SMD.
Let's
Right.
say this is $3, right?
Right. So
To the end user, the cost on this is $3.
right.
So divide by 2 because this is for 2
Right,
lamps.
exactly. So
would be
I
about
thought
50.
1.5. So we calculate tube. Actually, I would say manufacturing with the tube, everything is done at $8
$8.50
and
replacing your stock.
the 50
Okay.
cents. Okay, so that being said, let's look at the other side. Now remember, there's a big deal on the labor cost.
Yep.
Right? The labor cost, I really think, okay, if you're talking about even let's go as high as $30,
Okay.
right? It's just to replace that for $30.
So when we look at labor costs, we look at it between $75 and $150 a fixture or
Right.
an hour. Sorry, not a fixture. $75 to $150 an hour. And that range is so big because it might be just a regular electrician versus
Correct.
a union functioned one.
Right.
So if we look at between 75 and 150, let's just say $100 for an hour to keep our math simple.
I think that's a little bit too high. I tell you why. Okay.
Wait, and then we gotta narrow it down because it's not
Sure.
gonna take them an entire hour to
Right.
do one fixture like
Right.
this, correct?
Yeah, but no. That's not it. You have to understand there's a major difference to take a whole fixture out and put another fixture back.
That's what I'm saying.
Versus you open up the ceiling over there. You don't have to do a thing over there. There's different type of work in my opinion. But you still think people charge for $70?
No, I'm
No
saying
matter what they
we
do.
have to take an hour and then take
Also,
it back to
so-
like
So would
15
you,
to 20
yeah, I
minutes
agree.
because that's what it's gonna take to
I
do
know.
this.
So what you're telling me is no matter what kind of work they do, as long as a certified electrician,
Yeah.
$70 an hour.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's move on now. Okay. So from a friend, ask your friend in
Hey, Paul,
in your guys' opinion, okay? In a normal way,
I think we're saying the same thing, Alan.
no. I'm
Oh.
asking the second question, okay?
Okay.
Paul,
Yeah.
how many you think in a normal speed you can retrofit a TA type of B tube with the exchange of the socket
An hour.
in 1 hour?
In an hour?
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 3 fixtures.
No, per tube.
Oh, per tube?
How many tube can you do?
In an hour?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know, 20 or 30.
that's too many.
I would
Okay.
say,
Let's say, how about this?
It all depends on am I using
No,
a pre-wired
hold on a
ballast or
second.
not.
Let's go back to his original calculation. He said 2 to 3 fixture. I think it would be
I'd
Let's say
six
each-
tubes
each,
an hour.
each,
About 10 minutes a tube. What would you say?
10 minutes a tube.
Yeah. I mean, it depends, yeah, there's a lot of variables there, but I can agree.
So I don't have to argue,
Yeah.
so yeah, okay. So $100. Hold on a second.
At
Yeah.
least $100.
So basically talking about $100,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Divided by 10,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so $10 a tube.
I love it when we agree on things and you just want to fight with me to fight with me.
I think this is pretty reasonable
Yeah.
amount, talking about overall
So
calculation.
$18.50 a tube to pull it down, rewire it, put the new guy up there, done.
Okay, So
per tube.
for two. So today, most of the popular ones, Paul, you're selling on the chopper is a 46 watt, which has a 4 tubes
That's
inside,
correct,
right?
yes.
So your times 4 tubes right now.
Okay.
You follow what I'm
Yep,
Yeah, yeah,
times
yeah.
four.
Okay, so that means 0, it's a 4, 3, and a 7. So you're talking about $74 per fixture.
Per fixture. All
I
in.
think it is very conservative.
Labor plus tubes plus new sockets, done.
Okay, now you're talking about overall.
Okay.
Let's look at something else we would like to add to it. Okay, since you're doing this. So remember we're talking about is, hey, we really want people to have a good experience using TCP TA tubes. But in order to assure people
Sure.
have that kind of good experience, something we must do, which means we have to get rid of that old, ugly, yellow, dirty, even stinky prismatic panel. You got to get rid of it. So that being said, we have a brand new, look how beautiful is she holding that panel. It's just beauty. Look at pure white.
It's just a lens.
Right? Just the lens, right? Do you
Mhm.
agree? Just simply
It's
it's
just
a lens,
a lens that we're gonna bundle into that.
right?
Because
Just
we
simply
think
a
that,
lens.
you know, yeah, you're upgrading, you're getting that energy savings, but you really want to try and get a nicer look out of it.
Right.
Get that you're still putting tubes in there.
Because remember, later we have to argue with the Leslie compete against the
Against
fixture. The
fixtures.
fixture looks beautiful,
And
right?
to get a better aesthetic,
Exactly.
you're gonna want to swap out. And the other thing is, a lot of times the lenses become brittle over time just from being in the ceiling, and the
Yeah.
plastic cracks, or sometimes they
Correct.
hit it up against the ceiling tile
Exactly.
when they're trying to take it out. So upgrading that lens is super helpful to give you that upgraded look.
Right. So that being said, the manufacturing suggested cost on that one is $5. So we have another $5 here. Okay. This is for the lens here. For another
$5 for
$5
the lens.
for the lens,
Okay.
then you end up at
79
total.
all in.
I think.
Because you only need one lens per fixture. You don't need multiple lenses.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, now remember that because that's important when we compete against the fixture right now.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's go through one more time. Okay, remember type A only for ones and two and
Onesie,
three.
twosie, yeah.
Every time when you do the thing,
Big
big
retrofit.
retrofit, you have to follow
Look
this.
at this.
formula.
Yep.
Okay, this
So I
how
would
we see.
say that $79 would make this cost effective.
Yes, that's the key. Okay, cost effective.
And I would say that 10 tubes an hour would make it easy to install
Correct.
because there's very
It is
minimal
easy.
wiring.
Also, that's what I try to argue with you is yes.
We were
that-
saying the
that-
same thing.
No, it's
Okay.
it's the different type of work because you install the tube, it's a little bit less
It's less labor intensive. It
Right.
doesn't take as much time.
you know what I mean, because otherwise you have to deal, I mean, we did this before, Paul, you remember, you
Yeah.
couldn't get a damn the fixture out of the ceiling.
It's
Yeah, it
hard.
was pretty
They're
tough.
heavy, they're heavy.
They
And
are
you gotta
heavy.
get
super
up on the
heavy.
ladder,
Not
the
easy
cherry
to handle.
picker.
Okay, would you, since we're talking about that, would you do me a favor, bring them
Uh-oh.
over,
The big
okay?
heavy fixture?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
geez.
like
Straight.
watching her struggle
Maybe I
with
should
this.
have.
Yeah, let's watch it, if it,
I
she,
like watching you struggle though.
I
Nah.
might get all dirty.
Yeah,
yeah, so what, I
that's
mean,
what happens when you change. lights.
afterwards take a shower, you know? I always complain, you
Oh,
know?
here she
Right.
goes, look,
Oh.
it's not light, it's not light.
This is what we're talking about here, right? Because
Yeah.
when we start moving to the fixture side, we have to remind ourselves every single time, this what you deal with.
This is heavy.
This is super, super, super.
Like, I know
heavy.
I was joking, but it's
Right.
heavy because you've got a lot of material. You've got multiple ballasts in this. You've got the metal housing itself.
Correct,
You've got all the lamps in here.
Right.
Like, it's like this thing.
it's getting heavy.
It's heavy.
That's really getting heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put that to the side so we
Okay.
can
You just
continue.
like to
No,
have me
hey,
struggle.
here, no,
Put
we,
it right here.
we still need it.
I know.
Okay, now, so I think we need to move on now, okay?
Are you ready?
Right, I'm moving on to your
Okay.
side, okay? Now, when moving on to your side, remember, okay, it doesn't matter how Leslie loves to
Mhm.
argue,
Love
but
to
whatever the fixture does, fixtures still have to accomplish the same thing,
Yeah.
what we're doing on the tubes, which means,
Because again, remember we said like you can hit the same LPWs, you can hit all
Correct.
of that.
correct,
Mhm.
correct. At the meantime, at the meantime, they still have to look like the same,
Yeah.
right? So whatever the fixture we do, we still have to put it into so-called panels and
Sure.
fit into 2x2, 2x4, 1x4 hole in the ceiling. right?
So in this case, we were looking at a 2x4, right?
Right.
Because you were doing 4 laps.
Yes,
So we want to look at a 2x4 integrated fixture.
correct. Okay,
Our
now,
DT series
Right.
chopper.
so that means on her first item, I
Yeah.
have no arguments. Okay,
The regular.
any new construction.
Mhm.
Now,
Yep.
okay? Now, the second one, now we need to argue about it. I have to say, I would say Leslie only have a one argument here, she will win, which
Okay.
means the look. Because truly, the brand new panels we're making today, KCP, the light distribution just
They're
perfect.
beautiful.
It's
Oh.
beautiful.
Oh,
There's
I have
no way,
dreams about
right?
them.
There's no way you can argue about
Mhm.
that. So for that reason,
And we can
okay?
do so much with them as
Okay,
far as
right.
colors and scripts, custom silk screen. And really, if you're looking
Right.
for a completely upgraded, different, unique look, you're going to want to talk to us about a panel.
Sure.
Maybe you want a custom frame. Maybe you want, I don't know,
So-
anything.
These days, everybody wants to argue who win, who lose, right? So I would say Leslie win on this one.
Yep.
Leslie win on the second one,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Okay.
Let's keep going, okay? The third one typically better rebate.
Meaning you get a
Right.
higher dollar per unit rebate
Agreed.
for a utility rebate.
Okay, so let's say on the utility rebate, the best one we seen in the market today is the Combat in Chicago. They give you 4, but most time people only give you 2 or even only 1.
Right.
You see what I mean? So on the tube side, but on the panel side, they give you more money.
Maybe $100, I
So-
think, is one of the highest I've seen.
Really? But not that common. Normally maybe $40, $50.
The highest I saw was 100.
The highest you got is 100, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I give you all
The
the
lowest I think was 10.
those at 10. So can we pick something in between?
Let's pick
Yeah.
40.
50.
50,
Okay.
easy man.
Easy, man. So we put 50 here,
Yep.
okay? Right. Okay, I mean even, you know what? Let's go with the extreme, okay? I give you 100 because I want to make a case here.
You love to make the fixture free. Yeah.
Okay? That's cost of the product,
Mhm.
okay? Better rebate, agree 100%. Okay, warranty and life.
Again, because we're, as the manufacturer, warranting on the entire unit, I think it's a little easier sometimes because then if you're only doing the bulb or the tube, then you could have multiple warranties from multiple manufacturers. So say you didn't get the whole kit from TCP and you got your sockets from somebody else and you got your tubes from TCP and you've got a new lens from some other guy down the road. Like that would change your warranty on your total system. Or if you didn't wire it properly, that would all change your warranty. So I feel like doing the whole system, you have a guaranteed, like, it's now good, no problem, we'll send you a new one kind of deal.
I only like half agree.
The
with
other
that
thing
last
too
thing.
is like, let's say you have a early failure on one tube, because every once in a while you get one that's not so great, happens, and it fails early,
Yeah.
then, then you gotta go and you gotta file the claim and this and that for one tube, where it's probably not gonna have your entire fixture fail.
However, if you're looking at my type of B tubes,
Mm-hmm.
B tubes basically is to bypass everything. Just take the power with the new socket
Uh-huh.
with the tube. So new socket tube, TCP must warranty the entire system, we call.
What-
So just for argument purpose, I
Only if they buy it all from us.
yeah, you have to buy
Yeah,
everything.
if
It's
they
just
buy
like
it all from us,
it's just
then
like they buy the whole fixture from you.
Sure.
They buy the lamp holder and they lamp the tube all together as a system.
Mhm.
I think that they are close enough. I think obviously because the new fixture, the body has maybe a little bit more, but they're pretty close to it by
Okay.
definition. By
Okay.
definition, they are
Oh,
pretty
okay.
close. So here we go half and half here. Okay.
Okay.
So I would still say
I get half a
would say
check mark?
half, and I'll get my name on too. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wow, you both get a credit.
We both get a check.
Now, something else he didn't mention here. Okay, before we get into the option sensors controls, let's do some math here.
Well, I think we got to do the math because, like this, there's more options. And I know I talked about color and look and feel on the aesthetic side, But I also want to point out that when you're doing a complete fixture upgrade, you also have more options when it comes to motion sensors and smart controls, emergency backups. Like this is a better option just because it again gets back to that whole warranty piece, fewer factors, fewer things in play.
Okay.
So that would be a win for fixtures.
Sure, but still, okay,
But let's go over the cost of this. 'Cause we haven't done cost yet.
let's look at the cost of it.
Okay.
Okay,
So
now,
this is a 2x4 DT, right?
now, remember, when I calculate top of D, I didn't put any utility rebate in.
No, and I don't think we should.
We shouldn't put, right?
Mhm.
Okay, fine. So now, then we can deduct after that,
We could.
right? Okay, so you can deduct after this one too.
Yeah, because you could say like $2
So,
or $4.
okay, so let's say,
Yeah.
okay, let's say, I think for the manufacturing suggested price, I would say something around $80.
Oh, I think it would be closer to 100. On a 2x4?
2x4,
Mm-hmm.
about 100 to manufacturer's retail,
Yeah, to an end user.
to the end user.
Yep.
Okay, put a 100 over there,
I'm gonna say 100. Wouldn't you say 100, Paul?
Yes.
okay? Now we're asking Paul
You're
another
always
question.
so cheap.
No, then we ask Paul another question.
Okay.
Because she and I agreed upon the labor cost is $200, right? Paul,
Yeah.
what do you think, okay? An average person will retrofit this whole thing, take the whole body out. How many can you install every hour?
Not that many, Alice. You're not gonna do that many in an hour.
I think you're only probably gonna be able to do maybe one,
Maybe, yeah.
maybe
Two.
Two at the very maximum, I would say.
We give two.
We'll do two.
So
We'll
the
be
labor
generous.
cost of two.
It's
end up
$50,
is
right?
$50, okay?
You probably, once you get the hang of it, you'll do 2 an hour.
Yeah.
It's half hour to
Okay.
put one in.
Okay.
Okay.
There's something else people never calculated. Okay? Something always people forget it is, yes, that electrician will take this body from this. This
It's
is
heavy,
This
man.
is like a 20-some pounds here. Take from ceiling.
Mhm.
But nobody ever want to think about or calculate it.
Dispose.
Somebody have to get rid of this body. This body doesn't have legs, can walk around the building, end up the garbage can. No,
Yeah.
this body will end up somewhere. Somebody has to wrap them up on the
Get rid of
pallet to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I tell you, to get rid of it.
So disposal cost.
Yes,
Okay. So what do we think that would be per fixture? $10?
You gotta have somebody to go out there and lug it all around. It's probably
Right.
$20.
$20?
You know,
I would
with all
say
the
20
labor and
bucks.
everything, then
20
you
for a
may
disposal
have to
fee?
pay for a dumpster to come and all that,
Mhm.
you know.
I mean, you are gonna have a disposal fee here too, because those tubes are full of mercury and you gotta dispose of them.
yeah, but it's you can dispose them in a different fashion.
Sure.
This one, you really have to get rid of it. I mean,
Right.
this is
So I
heavy
think-
duty,
I would say
okay?
this is probably $20, and I'm gonna say a tube is probably $1. Let's
Yeah.
say for per
No more
fixture,
than
for
$1.
4
I even
tubes
think
to get
it's-
disposed, so
yeah,
25 cents a tube.
It's
It
just fine.
really depends on where you are. If you're in
Right.
California, it's like $10.
How come
Two.
$10?
Yeah, because they ROHS.
Oh, that's right,
compliant.
because they're so.
Because they have
funky
mercury
monkey.
in them.
Because the mercury poisoning everywhere.
$10 a tube to get rid of it?
Probably, yeah.
I don't think so.
Alex,
You
we
don't have
ship stuff
evidence
from
for that.
California to here to get rid of it from California because of that.
Also true.
It's expensive.
So I'm gonna say $20 on this guy, and I'm gonna say $1 because
Yeah,
we're not
do
in
a dollar, because
California.
Yeah.
forget California, sorry,
Say
California,
Yeah,
okay?
California is its own.
If that
it's the
happens,
exception to
if
the
that
rule.
happens, we packed up ship to Cleveland, okay?
Yeah, it's the exception to the rule.
Okay, right,
In
So
general, you
disposal, so I'm changing yours over here to 80, and I put mine over here at 20.
okay. So
What other costs do we have on mine?
I think at this
I think
point,
that's
it's
it,
pretty
right?
much done, right? So together, I
We're
would
looking
say
at 170.
170.
Woo,
So
that
that's
adds up quick.
double your tubes.
That we are
That's real
two.
quick.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
Okay, now, okay, tube for sure, we're not going to use in Chicago, okay?
Mhm.
We're not going to use in Chicago,
So let's
let's
talk about
say
utilities, right?
utilities, okay?
We'll put that on orange.
Now, at this point, if without the utility, Leslie, then no,
Without any utility money, we're looking at $80 versus $170 a fixture.
Now,
That's
just
all in
remember,
labor,
everything in it.
disposal, swapping, everything.
remember, our
Okay.
80 give you a brand new look.
Yeah.
Of the traffic,
A nice
Brand
little
new look.
upgrade.
okay?
And this is a simple 2x4 troffer.
I think to go to
Four
the same
lamps.
quality, same look, everything same. Why not
Okay.
just simply change the tube, still keep the old ugly
Stuff up there.
stuff over there. So
Yeah, you get that fresh, clean
that's
look.
without a
So
utility.
fresh and so clean.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
when we did it here, it makes it look
It
totally
does
different.
look completely different.
Completely different.
Looks
So,
really
but
nice.
let's look at it net.
Net.
Net we're talking about, net we're talking about is, I would say tube, we can average out at $2.
$2 a tube.
Right, so
So
four
two,
of those,
four,
that's
six, $8. Okay.
$8, okay?
So we're gonna say
So
less $8
less
for
$8
utilities.
utilities.
Woo. So that puts us at $72, right?
Right,
Okay.
now, this 100 is high, I believe.
I think
If you-
100's a little
It's a
high.
little high. If you ask me on the average of that, I will average out at 50.
Okay,
I think if you look at a East Coast,
sure.
50 even a lot of money. They even believe it out of 36 and this, then. I think 50 is very comfortable. If you minus a 50 here,
So we're going with a $50 rebate. So we're looking at 120.
correct. I think sometimes when people go through every single detail, okay, every single detail, and you will find out huge difference between those two.
Sure.
Almost in a way, I would say, in general, double the cost if you do TA tubes versus the fixture here. However, both of them has the same, hey, different style. Remember, when we talk about here, we talk about retrofit. If any retrofit, I strongly suggest people to do the type of B tubes with the TCP, fresh new look of the lens. That's what we believe always the first one, because that's the most economical way
Lost a tube.
to do it.
Man down.
This one, no question asked. You have no choice. If
Absolutely.
you have a new construction, okay? If you want to have upgrade to a different type of the gadgets. So let's jump
So
into
many
it.
gadgets.
Okay, because TA tubes, we cannot do the gadgets. This one, you can put all the gadgets in. Okay, so that's no question, no arguments about that. So you can see, we strongly suggest people to look at both sides based on your need.
And really look
But
at
don't
what,
discount the TA
don't
tubes.
discount the tubes, because that's a great option, especially if you're looking for something super affordable that can give you that upgraded look, upgraded feel, make it look close to a fixture. It's a great technology that you can still take advantage of your energy savings every single day. And then if you look at your cost per kilowatt hour on either of these, Ellis, your ROI is gonna get back to you just faster on this side than maybe this side. But
Correct.
on average, most of them get you that ROI within about 6 months.
Now, we have one more solution for you. We even didn't put on here called something in between.
Because it's kind of a hybrid.
Right, it's kind of hybrid. In other words, you don't want to spend the money to dispose
This is
your
Paul's
body.
favorite product, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, that's for that also,
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
a really
cost,
great product.
cost a miserable product because
Miserable.
he went through all the design stage, issues, problems, this and that. So Paul, would
That's a
you
good
come here, talk to Leslie.
Because this
Wha-
looks
wha-
like a door. This looks like a fixture to me, Paul.
This is not a
This
fixture.
this is team fixture, right?
This is a retro fixture.
Wait a second.
Mhm.
What do you mean by that,
So
Paul?
this is really slick. So if you don't want to follow the route that Ellis laid out, do the tubes or replace the fixture, you can leave the old fixture in there. Take the front door off your fluorescent troffer, gut it all out. We have a little frame kit that goes inside that. You screw the frame in. This clips into that frame then.
Would you open that so
Oh, let me see
people
if I
can
can
see
open
it?
the door.
No, here.
There you go.
Got it?
Okay, guys, just move over
Here,
here.
I'm gonna have
to the
Paul do
center.
it.
Paul, why
Paul?
don't you show everybody how?
You do it, so I
You
don't
see?
cut myself.
So,
Oh,
you take this
yeah.
off. Wait a minute, come back. Show people you have a hinge on the one side,
Right.
right? This is what you call a docket. Hinge one side. How do you call this? This called what?
That's a hinge
That's
and
just
that's a
that's
latch.
just the lens of
That's
the-
a latch.
Yep.
Yep.
That's hinge.
That's
So
Okay.
this is the old.
Remember
frame,
that.
right? So you
that
pop
one.
that
You
Step
out.
gotta take
number
all
one.
this out.
Step number one.
Everything gets gutted out
All
of
of
this.
that.
So it's very easy. Just pop, right?
Yep.
Tubes pop.
And then there's
okay?
another like button
Yep, that
under
pops-
here
that-
that pops out.
You
right?
pop that out.
You pop
Okay.
that out.
Mhm.
Okay.
Then there's a frame that comes with this that goes inside here. It fits
So
right
you
along
screw
the edge
that
here.
in.
And come
Shoop,
with
shoop,
it.
shoop.
Right, makes a
Right.
frame,
And
okay?
then what?
Okay.
Then you're gonna clip this in the one side of the frame. You're gonna do your wiring that's on the back here. See the wiring here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's underneath here.
Okay.
I don't think I can get it
I don't
out.
think you can. I think you need tools.
Yeah. You don't need tools, but
You don't need-
there you go.
Oh, okay.
So this
So I'm
gets
gonna
removed.
take this out.
So I'm gonna
take
plug right
these
in
out.
right here now
I'm gonna
okay.
go into here with my door
with
kit.
my door kit.
If it were the same size.
Right? So then my door kit will
Okay.
swing up into here and it'll rest right in here like
Right,
this.
Sen,
If
there
it were
you.
the same size.
Yep. See
There
how it's
you-
smaller? Because the frame fills up the rest of it.
Very simple.
And now you have a
I
retrofitted
have to say two things. Number one, Paul really struggled the other day. If you want to take this body out, that's the
It's
thing.
not easy to get
It's
those
not
out.
easy to get a body out.
We showed that.
Actually, most times it's get a body out.
Mhm.
not
That's
put
the hardest
body
part.
in,
So the neat thing about these drawer kits, Ellis,
Right?
is you're looking at that upgraded look. You're looking at all of those same great accessories.
Sure.
You're looking at all of that.
Yeah.
Plus that minimal as far as labor and disposal.
Right.
So it's
Yep.
kind
Exactly.
of the best of both worlds.
You pretty much cut that in half. Cut that in half.
There is one thing that you guys missed there.
What did
Yeah.
we miss?
You don't have to
Paul?
get a permit because you're not replacing the entire fixture now.
Ah.
You're not breaking the seal to the ceiling, so you can just do it from the front.
And the other cool thing about these
Yeah.
too is like, let's say you are doing a retrofit in an
Sure.
older building.
Yeah.
And that building, we don't know when it was built. There might be asbestos up behind the wall of that
Correct.
ceiling. So
Correct.
this is a great way to not get up into that ceiling, not potentially expose people to asbestos, not have to do all of those permittings and this and that to test to see if there is asbestos in the ceiling, and get that upgraded fixture look, fixture feel, take advantage of smart controls like a sensor.
Right. Because
or
you
a
keep
smart
all the
box.
benefits from the
The
fixture.
fixture.
Right.
Yep. And I did validate this, Ellis. I looked it up. The average cost, you were 100% correct, about $1.35 to recycle a lamp.
Okay. $1.35.
Would
Thank
you like to say that you're wrong?
It wasn't California, but yes. I would agree
So
with
key,
Ellis
you
100%.
see what I mean, guys? That's why our job is
To lay out the facts.
laid out fast. Our job is give you the detail.
Mhm.
Our job is to prepare all the products.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because we don't care if you
We don't
want
care.
a tube,
But
a fixture, or a door kit.
correct.
We just want you to come to TCP and say,
Correct.
hey, help me out.
In
the end of the
other
day, we
words,
want you to
you
be
come
happy.
to TCP, one stop, give you
One-stop shop.
all the service, all your choice, whatever
Everything
you
you
need.
Whatever
need.
solution you want.
Okay. I don't think anybody able to walk you through in such a detail.
I hope this
Most
is a
people
good
don't
one.
take the time to walk in.
Right,
the
Well,
exactly.
and
You
we
know?
really want people to understand like the differences, you
Right.
know, like when you might want to do something and where, because again, that door kit's going to fall in line with the fixture price point, but it's also going to fall in line with the fixture rebate. But
There's a
on
lot
the
of
labor
rebates for these,
side,
too.
Oh,
that's
lot of
like
rebates
the
for these.
labor
oh yeah,
component.
yeah, yeah.
A rebate on that's going to be more aligned with what a
Yeah.
fixture rebate would be.
Correct,
than
correct,
a tube rebate.
Correct.
And the labor on that guy and the disposal fee on that guy is going to be way less. So
Correct.
realistically, that door kit could be your perfect product.
Correct.
I would say so.
Correct. Sounds good, guys.
Gosh, we talked about a lot of
Yeah.
things.
So join us. We want to do as much as we can, give you
Absolutely.
as much information as we can.
Yes,
We
we
want
do.
to look into all the aspects, not just products.
Mhm.
Also, we look at the labor cost,
Labor,
we look at
disposal,
disposal, everything for you.
layouts,
Okay.
utilities,
Hidden costs.
all
What
of
was the
that.
hidden
The
costs?
hidden
Hitting
costs.
cost, hitting cost. Paul is absolutely correct.
Mhm.
Sounds really good.
That's good,
Okay.
good stuff today. Alex.
Yeah,
I
good
really
stuff.
enjoyed
I
that.
hope you guys enjoyed that.
Mhm.
We're getting more and more of that because
Absolutely.
light up is just a beginning, not the ending. Okay?
Yes.
Right? The ending is, like Paul said, we have to review all the hidden costs, make sure the end user, when they design, when they want to look at the total budget of their project, they need to look into all the details.
Well, I
Okay?
like to think that we're in the business of making people happy, and
Right.
by giving you all the details, that's what helps make you happy.
Sounds good.
Absolutely. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.